And of course, we have with us in the studio the Dean Quinito Henson to talk about tomorrow's game between the San Miguel Beermen and the Alaska Aces. Welcome back to Sports Desk.
Thank you. And before anything else, I need to be able to repay a debt.
A debt?
From Spain.
Oh,
this is
Gino!
a World Cup Philippine T-shirt.
This sold out in the first day of the tournament.
Within hours.
Within hours.
And I also have something special for Cheska.
Thanks.
This is a FIBA World Cup scarf.
Thank you.
And bandana. And that's for you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's so you invite me more often.
Okay, then we take bribes. Dean, this series has been a little bit strange because it seems like no lead is safe. You have a 20-point something lead in the first quarter. You think you'd win the game? No. You have a 20-something point lead in the third quarter. You think you win the game? No. So I mean, what's going on? I mean, it's hard to wrap your mind around what's happening in this series because it's almost like the unbelievable can happen.
Well, it's a chess match. It's a game and a series of adjustments. Yeah. And before the finals started, not too many people thought that it would go to a game 7.
Yeah.
If you look at San Miguel's lineup, it's talent-laden. They've got 12 first-round draft choices compared to 7 for Alaska.
Wow.
San Miguel, of course, has that championship tradition. They've got 19 championships under their belt. Alaska, 14. But if you take a look at the finals experience, man for man, you'll be surprised. Alaska has a combined 36 finals appearances. That's combining all the players, compared to 17 for San Miguel. So you're wondering now, wait a minute, San Miguel is supposed to be the favored team in this finals. Before this conference started, a lot of the experts were saying that Alaska wouldn't even make it to the top 4. But Alaska's just full of surprises, and Alex Compton has done a marvelous job in making his team competitive. He has adjusted, readjusted, and he has forced a Game 7, something that not too many people thought would happen.
Yeah.
Alaska has been talked about as the new Never Say Die team, much to the ire of Ginebra fans. But you can't help but tag them as so because they are the team that they.
20-point win.
How do you do that?
20-point deficit.
You score 5 points in the first quarter, and then you end up winning the game. I mean, what is it with Alaska that just makes this team so tenacious? So,
well, first of all, putting the record straight, Alaska is not the new Ginebra. I think Ginebra is Ginebra, and that will never change.
Yes.
The image of Ginebra as a never say die team will always be there. Alaska, to be fair and in fairness to what the Alaska franchise has done, I think has established a character all on its own. They've established a character of a team that generates the maximum from all the players. I mean, this is a team that hurts you in waves. I haven't seen a team do that in a long, long time, not even Ginebra. And I'm talking waves because they play their first unit just as much as their second unit. And if you look at the finals, there's not a single Alaska player who's averaging even 30 minutes a game. If you take a look at San Miguel, they've got 3 players averaging at least 30 minutes. What does that tell you? Good distribution of minutes for Alaska. They're getting good rotation. There's maximum use of the players. And they're doing it with character. They're doing it with a lot of smarts. But don't sell San Miguel short. This is a team that, as I said, is talent-laden.
Yeah.
Anytime that you have the reigning MVP and the best player of the conference playing for you in Junmar Fajardo, and with Arwin Santos to boot and Marshall Lassiter, this team arguably has 5 players who probably would be shoo-ins for the next Gilas lineup.
Wow, 5 players.
Do you want to name those players? Do you want to name those players?
But looking at the Alaska lineup, that front line that has given Junmar a lot of headaches in this tournament. I mean, you've got Eric Nett, you've got Sonny Toss, you have so many guys there that are just slapping away and pushing Junmar away from the paint and making him receive the ball with like 10 seconds left in the shot clock, like maybe 15 feet or further out from where he wants to be. How do they cure that?
Well, it's a total team effort that Alaska's doing. So it's not just Sonny Toss or Eric Menk or Vic Manuel for that matter, or Calvin Abueva. It's a total team effort, and it starts from the backcourt. When they do their press, what it actually does is it delays the advance of the basketball into the front court of San Miguel. So by the time San Miguel is able to break the press, how much time is left on the shot clock? Maybe 5 seconds, 3 seconds. By the time Junmar gets his touch, he's probably way outside of the low block because they're pushing him away. So he doesn't have a good shot at the basket. So he's forced to pass, which I feel is one of the things that maybe Alaska might want to do. You don't want Junmar to get his shots. You want to make him a passer. If you're San Miguel, however, there's something that I saw San Miguel do in Game 4, which San Miguel won. Calvin Abueva had a team-high 22 points. No other Alaska player was in double figures. Abueva, 0 assists. I feel that's one thing that maybe San Miguel might want to explore for game number 7. You bait Calvin to try to make him beat you one-on-one single-handedly. Don't make him a passer. So it's in contrast to what you want to do with Junmar. If you're Alaska, you want to make Junmar a passer. If you're San Miguel, you want to make Calvin try to do it all by himself. Because I think Calvin Abueva is not going to be able to do that because Alaska thrives with a team concept. And if any one player tries to do it by himself, then it's going to be problems for Alaska.
All right, I feel the Dean's List coming very, very soon. We're still kicking it with the Dean, Quinito Henson, and like he does, and in the PBA games, he has this thing called the Dean's List. And you know he's put a brand on that already, and I think we have the graphics for that in preparation for what he's going to be talking about tomorrow. So let's flash the Dean's List right now on the screen so that Quinito can talk about it.
Okay, do we start with Alaska or San Miguel?
There it is.
This is for Alaska. And this is what I talked about earlier. You want to force Junmar to pass the ball. You don't want to make him a scorer. You want to make him a passer. And it happened in game number 6 when Alaska won. Junmar had a conference low 9 points. So you didn't want him shooting. You wanted him to pass. You control the pace of the game. And something I call quarter quota. For Alaska to win this game, it needs to be low scoring. And in the 3 wins of Alaska, they've been able to hold San Miguel down to an average of 76. But in the 3 games that San Miguel has won, they've averaged 93 points. There's a ton of difference between a high-scoring game and a low-scoring game. Quarter quota meaning for Alaska to win, you want to be able to hold San Miguel to 20 points max per quarter. That way, they only score 80 points.
Okay, all right. And we also have
San Miguel.
For San Miguel, for SMB to win. Here we go.
Okay, better ball movement, and that means getting everybody involved in the offense. And in the 3 wins of San Miguel in this series, they've always out-assisted Alaska. 20 assists in the first win, and then they had 16. And then they had 23 assists. And remember, when San Miguel won game 5, or game 4, they had 6 players in double figures. When they won their first game, that was game 2, they had 5 players in double figures. When you've got better ball movement, when you're moving that ball around and finding the open guy with assists, then that's playing San Miguel's way. And then you bait Calvin Abueva to try to beat you one-on-one, and you generate possessions. And what do I mean by generating possessions? In a game like this, Alaska doesn't want the game to be high-scoring. So they want to stretch the minutes. For San Miguel, you want to make it high-scoring. You want to be able to generate possessions because the more possessions you have, the more chances you have to score. And when you generate possessions, that means you have to create turnovers and you have to get offensive rebounds. Those 2 statistics will give you multiple possessions.
We should do this every PBA Finals. I love this. Okay.
You know, this is a very intriguing series because you've seen both coaches trying to outwit each other. Leo Alster said it's a chess match. And nagpapadehado naman si Coach Alex Compton because talking to him yesterday, he said, you know, the pressure is not on us. The pressure is on San Miguel. We weren't even expected to be in the finals. He says, and then I asked him, so what do you think will make you win in game 7? He said, I need 5 smart stones and a sling to be able to play David against Goliath. That's what he said.
Okay, but one subject when it comes to Alaska is how people just love seeing the resurgence of Dondon Ontiveros, of Eric Menk settling into his role. I mean, he's not the main guy anymore, but he's producing, he's helping whenever he's on the floor. And in Game 6, we had Tony De La Cruz, Sonny Thos playing like it was 2008. There's something with Alaska. I don't know, is it the milk that the older guys are coming back? Or is it just the way that Alex has fixed his rotation when it comes to playing San Miguel?
Well, it's the point that I made earlier. When you have a team where the minutes are evenly distributed, there's not a single player who's even averaging 30 minutes, as I mentioned. You've got a ton of players who are averaging 20 minutes. And everybody's motivated. But I asked Alex Compton, and he never wants to take credit because he's such a humble guy. And he said,
sounds like Alex.
He said he remembers reading from John Maxwell. And he said, you know, John Maxwell told him that what is the secret of motivating players? He says, the secret is not with me. The key is to hire motivated players. And he's got very highly motivated players. But you know, we've been talking about Alaska. Let's talk about San Miguel.
Yeah, let's do that.
San Miguel, they're in the cusp of winning a 20th championship. Now, it's been a long title drought for San Miguel. They haven't won a championship in the last 9 conferences. So this team is hungry. They've got Junmar Fajardo, they've got Arwin Santos, they've got Leo Austria, who is, I think, not only just a brilliant coach on a macro level, but also a brilliant coach on a micro level. I think there's no better coach in the PBA now who's able to design a play to be able to get you the winning basket.
Okay.
That last play, the winning play, it's Leo Austria who can do that the best.
Yeah.
Sorry, one last question though. When it comes to San Miguel, we have some pretty deadly shooters in that team. Somehow, though, they weren't able to produce as well in Game 6. But we've seen Alex Capagnot do this over and over and over again. We know Marshall can shoot. Junmar, if he gets close enough. But it's just, when you have a team like San Miguel, when you have that lineup, and you have that many shooters on the floor, how hard is it for you to get the defense of Alaska off your back for your shooters to finally get their rhythm going?
Well, first, you can't be predictable. I think with San Miguel, there's just an over-reliance on Junmar because why not? I mean, he's the best player in the league, so you want the ball in his hands. But if you're San Miguel, you want to make sure that the ball moves around. You want to get everyone involved. You want to get those assists. If Junmar is not able to get his shot, he should at least be able to locate the open guys so that he can dish off. And I think that's the key to how San Miguel blasted Alaska in game number 4. At 6 guys in double figures, and you mentioned Alex Capagnot, he had 22 points in that game. Since then, he hasn't scored in double figures. But in game 7, I think they will have the adjustments. They will want to get everybody involved and make life difficult now for Alaska because now, who's Alaska going to defend? They're going to have to pick their poison. Are they going to defend, pack it in against Junmar, or are they going to go out and try to close out on the shooters? That is going to be a big problem and a big challenge for Alaska. And for San Miguel, they just need to be able to break that press. I feel, though, it's 50-50. The way things are going, it's been a chess match, series of adjustments. Both teams have great advantages. They both have the weaknesses, but I think we're in for a heck of a game tomorrow.
I'm glad it's going 7.